Hello. Well, I've been asked for a demonstration of my homemade Omnichord type instrument. I can't take any credit for what goes on electronically or software that's in here, because that's all part of, that's a Strum on the 64 pixel website. You can buy that for about £50 in the UK. That's a tiny little circuit board which you play with a stylus and has small chord buttons on it. But what I've done is I've rewired it and put all those buttons, all those controls out to my own buttons here. And also the stylus I brought out to these keys. These keys are simply large cable ties with electrical contacts at the end. So for this demonstration, all I've done is I've midied it into my cue chord, so I can show you the difference in sounds. So the cue chord, the strum plate isn't the world's most, it's okay, but it's not the world's most responsive. It's hard to find places, but on here it plays maybe more like a piano. Change the sound. The big difference is the way it changes chord. On a cue chord, as you're aware, I put the sustain up. It changes the chord, the dying chord, to a new one, like that. And that makes it sound quite electronic. With this one, it changes it stops all the notes that aren't in the new chord, so you have to play again. So if I go and press nothing. So that's very different, and it can sound a bit more natural, but if you forget to play with your right hand, your music can stop dead. So that's the real difference between them. But also the bottom note of a cue chord, bottom note of my device, Omnitone I've called it, is just another octave lower, so you've got another octave. And also, because it's got a sensible MIDI out that works properly, you can plug it into a proper MIDI device, or even a homemade arpeggiator from the same website as this came from. So lots more options than you have with a cue chord. So I hope this answers some of your questions. Oh, how buttons? It seems to have a lack of buttons on it, where you've got all these controls on the Omnichord, on the cue chord. You hold the mode button down, and then you press one of the chord buttons, and that corresponds to this chart here. But I've got it all set up. Oh, what it can do also is it can do sus chords. I've heard questions about it on the website. So if I press, say, a G, and the next one up, I get a sus second, or so yeah, it plays sustained chords. And it plays all the usual ones. So there we are. There we have it. It's a homemade Omnichord type MIDI controller, I'd call it. Anyway, I hope that answers some of your questions.